Welcome to After the Gotham After Show, where we're going to be talking about the preview of next week's episode, which we've never done before. This will be previewing the Blind Fortune Teller. Thank you. Thank you for all your help. Thanks for nothing. And we're bringing up this topic because kind of controversial. If you watch one of our previous After the After Show videos, we talked about crossing the line. And ultimately, Dave, you said, and we all shared your sentiment, if they do a Joker backstory, this will be crossing the line. And this is because that's kind of the thing about the Joker. He's never really had a defined past. He's never even officially had a name. So, first off, let's just ask, do you think we're going to get a Joker origin story in the next episode? Just based on the previews and the articles.
I mean, everything points...
All signs point to
yes.
Shake the 8 ball.
Yes.
All signs point to yes.
Is that what you were doing? Okay.
Yeah, shaking the 8 ball. This is what this is.
Oh God.
Yes. Even the fact that it says no joke in the preview.
Yeah, this is no joke.
And the way he's smiling and they even had the laugh, you know,
Very
and we had the
laugh,
laugh in another episode you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how they're not doing it, but I kind of think maybe there's a misdirection. I'm hoping for a misdirection.
Right, because, I mean, in the articles that we read, it was always, we're going to do, I think it was described as a knock on the door.
Yes.
Or a tap on the door, and that's really it. But we see this kid who looks like the Joker. If it is, it's really good casting.
Yeah, but I did read that they were flirting with the idea of doing more by season's end. So
right. Okay, well, let's just because you know some people aren't comic book fans who are Gotham fans, and they don't know the history that the Rogues Gallery. They don't know the canonized story of Batman and this and that. So, just real quick, talk about why having a Joker backstory would be going against the comics, I guess.
Well, in the comic books, Joker has never had a backstory. The closest backstory that the Joker has had is in a book called The Killing Joke. And in The Killing Joke, he's a failing comedian. And again, they don't have his name. They don't know his name. When the Red Hood gang, at the time in The Killing Joke, they come to him, and what the Red Hood gang was at the time was there was one guy that ran around with the Red Hood because he was like the scapegoat. He was like the guy that, and they always changed him, so it wasn't the same guy all the time. Well, they recruited him because he was down his luck. He needed money. He had a pregnant wife, and they called him Jack, but it was like, you know, hey, Jack, you know, not like his name was Jack.
Like Bub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they called him Jack, so anyway, he dons the Red Hood to do this job. Well, that's when Batman shows up, falls in the vat of chemicals. The rest is history. He's Joker. So, and I don't know, and Nolan did a great job of not developing a backstory.
Zero backstory.
Yeah, the Joker actually had to come up with backstories. You know what I mean? Like, he came up with his own kind of how he got these scars. Like, that was brilliant.
The one he told to Maggie Gyllenhaal was the closest one to. He was deep in with the sharks, and he
Loan sharks.
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So
yeah.
so that and it was for his wife and stuff. So there was that animosity between him and his wife in The Killing Joke. So that was the closest thing to The Killing Joke. But
it always changed, so you never knew which was true.
Yeah. You never knew.
But in the comics, he's never deformed.
No.
You know, he does fall in chemicals.
His skin is
skin is white. But they did a good job in which Burton did kind of the closest almost, Killing Joke, where he falls in the chemicals, but he even gave him scars with the bullet going through his cheeks so that he have that smile. But his big thing in the comic books is actually he's a, it's funny because people always say, who's the most brilliant villain out there in the DC world, and everybody kind of always goes to Lex Luthor, which he is. but the Joker is just as brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He's even though he's, because there's the backstory of, what is he, a chemist? Because he creates these laugh toxins, or these different toxins. He's always creating some kind of venom.
Yeah.
And he's a chemist in a sense too, but he's brilliant in the fact that he just knows how to do all this crime and never get caught.
Brand X, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The fact that he's just that one villain. I don't think there's any other villain you could look up on any side, DC, Marvel, or anything that doesn't have a backstory like his. And
doesn't that make him more terrifying?
Absolutely.
The fact that he has no reasoning behind it.
Absolutely.
Just like in Nolan, it was like some men just want to watch the world burn.
Right.
Absolutely.
There was a real cool, I don't remember where, it's been a while since I've read it, but there was a real cool back and forth between him, I think Nightwing at the time. I'm pretty sure it was Nightwing. It could have been Robin, but where the Joker had him and was torturing him, and we'll call him Nightwing for right now because I can't remember which one it is. It's been a while. Where he actually comes back at the Joker and he's telling him, like, you're not crazy. You're actually very sane, and that you do these crazy things to mask, to make him seem, oh, he's crazy. He doesn't. But really, I mean, the whole thing is that he's actually not insane. He's actually really sane, and that's just part of his. That's even more scary to me. I think that someone mentally acts like that, and that you don't know why and where it came from. So I agree with 100%, and I think they are walking on very thin ice right now, especially with me. Sorry, I haven't hit my mic, but and I was mentioning to you to that, like they give. I mean, he's in a police station. Are we going to expect for them not to mention his name, for someone not to know the kid's name? For some reason, I think that he was next to somebody, maybe his mom.
I looked like he was, but I don't
somebody.
know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I could, in a backstory for Joker, it's believed, that, especially in the New 52, that he is the kind of one of, like, now they have like a gang of people in red hoods, red masks, and he kind of has that pill head. So it's believed
they got rid of that in the New 52.
Okay, that's.
Or maybe they did. Maybe.
If you had to do a backstory like Joker, and they kind of, as an homage to the Killing Joke, that's the route that I would expect to maybe be able to take. But even so, he's still, the age is a big problem, I think. So I don't know if the kid is like, if they're bringing him in for questioning because his dad's in the Red Hood gang.
Yeah, and and it could be maybe he has a fake identity and they call him Jack, but that's not really his real name. I mean,
is that what they're really going to do? Are they going to make all the villains like the dads and the sons? Like, is that really something?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're going to do for everybody? Like, that's like, ugh, like,
I don't know.
But this thing, it's very thin ice.
Well, I'll repeat what I said before was I do not want to know his backstory.
There you go.
I don't want to know his backstory.
Right. Even if it is revealed, it would be Gotham, the TV show's interpretation of his backstory. I mean,
sure, but it all rolls back to.
I think it all goes. But what is canon is the comic books, because that's where he was born. That's where he continues. And the actor who's playing him is Cameron Monaghan, maybe.
Yes.
And he's 22. He looked a lot younger in that preview thing. He looked more around Bruce's age.
Yeah, he did.
But the actor is 22. He may be playing younger, but. And his tweet 22 hours ago, as of right now, you should really watch Gotham next week. I'm not clowning around.
Yeah.
He's really throwing it out there, isn't he?
He is throwing it out there. They're advertising it heavily like that. Is he
going to spend a month in a hotel room studying Clockwork Orange and and all that stuff to get in Joker's frame of mind? I don't know.
I mean, and we're not knocking on the actor.
Oh, not at all.
Sure
not at all.
I'm just... If he is playing the Joker, I'm sure he'll do a good job. But
I'm glad you mentioned that, because all of our thoughts aside, the kid looked really great in the few seconds he kind of had that look, and I don't know why they kind of robbed him in the sense of, well, maybe they're holding it because the big thing is the laugh. So the kid started to laugh, Cameron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cameron started to do his laugh, but then they literally cut it off with that classic, like laugh bin, like you can pull it from anywhere. That classic kind of Joker laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it didn't sound like, because I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I don't think that was the kid's laugh, but if it was, I mean, it sounds great. But
now we'd mentioned this in our full-length episode where we reviewed episode 15. We talked about how it's seeming, at least from our feedback on Twitter and on YouTube, that most of the fans of Gotham aren't so much, or at least the ones who are commenting, aren't so much fans of the comic books or might not know.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the question out there on Twitter last night. How do you guys feel about the Joker possibly having an origin story? Are you for this, or do you think he should not have an origin story, have a name, all this and that? And every response that I got back was, yes, Joker, finally, we've been waiting for this. I mean, everyone was really pumped. Now, Joker...
Maybe I'm the freak. Maybe
well,
we're the weirdos.
Arguably, he's one of the most famous villains out there.
Yeah.
So I can see even your non-comic book reading fan knowing that.
Right.
Being like, yes, obviously they've seen the movies and love the Heath Ledger representation of him. So I could see how people would be pumped about this. But I think there is a faction out there that is like, what are you doing? Bump the brakes there, Fox.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's true. To step back from it a little bit and kind of realize that maybe most of the people out there that are watching it just want to see something different, want to see a different Joker. And
obviously DC's okay with it, because they have to
Right, they signed off on it.
So, but like we mentioned in the show and everything, we do read the comics, we do hold this subject, character, whatever, playing pretty close to the chest. But if they, I guess if they were to do something, I mean, I'm not gonna stop watching it, But it's just like,
right,
if they do it right, and they have, I'd be hard pressed to say like, yeah, I'm against it. I don't want to see it, but at the same time, they have every right to do whatever they want to with it, and
right.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, this is, on TV. Which
I just want to be that guy. I feel like
'66.
I feel like we're those guys.
There hasn't been anything Batman related on TV besides the animated show.
Yeah.
So this is like, hey, this is TV's telling of Gotham. So
I just want to be that guy. I don't want to be those stingy like no, no. But I kind of am in this sense.
Well, I kind of do want to be like that just a little bit. But
I'm normally not that. Normally I'm really open-minded, but this is something different. We've never seen. I haven't seen this on
Well, we'll
TV
definitely
before.
talk about it next week when we review episode 16, which is called, why do I keep forgetting the name of this show? It's called The Blind Fortune Teller. Thank you, Brain. We'll definitely talk about that, so be sure to subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/21network, to get that video, and follow us on Twitter @GothamAfterShow. Thanks to my, I don't have a name for the Red Couch when it's just a after show, but I guess I'll just call it still the Red Couch.
Red Couch of lips, red lips. What's the joke?
The Red Couch of ha 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 ha.
Yeah, the ha-ha-has are usually red.
D. Cottingham, 21 on Twitter, Kumaster Koo on Twitter, Dave Cottingham, Corey Cooley, Chad Perkins, you audience. Thank you. Do I say frosty on these, into these?
Do it.
Why not?
Also, stay frosty. Yeah, I like that.